For updates on sports stories across the globe, AB Youngman joins us. Good morning, AB.
Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Dr. Professor Kila. And good morning, Rufai. Nice to see you three of you this morning. It's a lot happening in world sports. I'll just quickly go through it. Yesterday, 4 teams qualified for the for the round of 16 from the first round of matches played in the Champions League knockout phases. And we saw Atlanta lose and crash out of the Champions League after Club Brugge totally dominated this team. In the second half, we had Lookman come in, got a goal, scored a goal to make it 3-1, scored another goal which was cancelled, and he also missed a penalty. At this stage, they're out of the UEFA Champions League. And in Bayern were able to qualify for the round of 16 after getting a late winner against Celtic. It was Alphonso Davies who got that victory to ensure that they remain in the Champions League. And for Milan totally lost it. Initially, they had a dominance of the game, but they were not able to hold it, and there was a red card for Theo Hernandez, which resulted in them sending him off. And they also conceded another goal, and they are out of the Champions League. And same with Monaco, who were not able to hold their own. And we have, after that particular game between Atlanta and Club Brugge, the coach of Atlanta came out to totally bash Ademola Lookman. He also said that that's the worst penalty he had ever seen. He's one of the worst penalty takers, that's Ademola Lookman. And he now also went on to say that the penalty takers for Atlanta are De Catalare and Retegui, who were meant to take that particular penalty. And it has caused a lot of reaction on social media, with some saying, yes, Ademola Lookman ought not to take the penalty, and others saying that it's just a slight on Ademola Lookman, who has been one of the best players in Atlanta this season. Before he came in, they were losing without a goal. He came in and scored a goal, but missed a penalty. Obviously, he's not the first two penalty takers, but anyone can miss a penalty. That's what is coming from people. And we also have matches to be played in the Champions League today. 8 teams will play 4 games, and 4 of those teams will qualify. Dortmund will play against Sporting. There's Paris Saint-Germain also playing against Brest. There's Real Madrid taking on City at home after getting a victory against them in the first leg at the Etihad. And PSV will take on Juventus. Those are the matches that we play today in the Champions League. And away from that, we have a Brescia fan getting a 5-year ban over Akinsomiro's abuse. In January, Akinsomiru, who is the knee from Juventus to Sampdoria, played against Brescia, and fans were giving monkey chants and everything, and he had to even respond. And now a fan has been banned for 5 years because of that particular case. It's been a lot of fight against racism, especially in leagues like the Serie A, amongst others. But this particular one really went viral after the video surfaced of him. So now there's a ban there for the fan. And away from that, so athletics, Olusoji, Fasuba, and Ogukoya are talking about the over-reliance of SCCA athletes in Nigeria. Now, looking at it, you look at in the past few years, there's a lot of reliance on these athletes who play collegiate football in the athletics in the United States, and you bring them in every time. And looking at the grassroots, it's looking like it's really not looked into as much. And they're urging Athletics Federation, the government, sports in general, to ensure that the grassroots sports is grown to a level where you don't have to over-rely on just foreign athletes. And finally, for me, we had a launch of the Formula One cars, and this is the first time that all 10 Formula One teams launched their cars. We saw for the first time Lewis Hamilton come out to associate with Ferrari and the likes of Aston Martin and all. But what stood out, especially for Nigerians, would be Tems' performance at the event. She was able to perform while Aston Martin released their cars they'll be using for the year 2025. Well, that's all for me on the World of Sports today.
I want to talk about Ademola Lookman. Please, please, please. Atalanta should not go the way of SSC Napoli. I beg. Please. We shouldn't do this. This man won so much for you. He came in. You could see his dedication during the game. And he scored a goal back. He was fighting on. Anybody can lose penalties in any man's game. Why will Gasperini be saying anything like that? That someone else could have missed it, but it wasn't a nice gesture. You encourage him, you win or lose. This man scored 3 goals at the final. Enough of this disrespect. This was how they treated Osimhen. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
All right, let me talk about Formula One this time, since our very own Tems was on the global stage, on that big stage that had at least 15,000 people in attendance. Tickets went out in minutes. And I think it's a big win for her following her Grammy win recently. But beyond that, it was also the first time that Lewis Hamilton was coming out to represent Ferrari after his long stint, with Mercedes. And so it was great to see that. In one word, he had described the feeling as invigorating. And, some people wondered what would be going on in the minds of the Mercedes team, seeing their prized Lewis Hamilton playing for the opposition. But let's see how this turns out. He's hoping to get his 8th title with Ferrari, and also, he's one of the most successful, if not the most successful Formula One driver in recent times. But also great to see the show. It's the first that this time there was such a big display to launch, the new season. And to see the 10 teams represented, 20 individuals there, and just a fantastic show that was put on display. Looking forward to an exciting season. Formula One is 75 years, so there might just be another celebration in the works, and we look forward to seeing Tems back on that stage.
Prof?
Well, the Lookman thing, I feel bad that they're saying this about him, especially after he has scored a goal. I think it is wrong for the coach to come out to rant over the performance of his player unless it's part of the excitement of showbiz. But then again, in a structured process, if you are not the person meant to be taking penalty, why are you going to take penalty? Let's say they have 2 people. If it's not your job, why should you go and do it? Maybe practice privately, then when they say you're good enough to take it, you go and take penalty. I think discipline is a very crucial thing. And I say this as somebody that likes to indulge geniuses. But I think we should learn to be disciplined and follow structure if we want progress.
Right, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate all of you for your time. Okay. Maybe you want to say something as we wrap up?
Just quickly, I want to just add to what Professor Killer said. I think everything he said, to a large extent, Gasperini was wrong to come out to say whatever he said, and in the manner he said it, in a very condescending manner, publicly. But the truth remains that when you have 2 penalty takers, except it's been allowed for you to take penalties, then you can. But coming out to bash everything Ademola Lookman has done, this particular team have won just 1 game in the 6 he was absent due to injury, and he came in and once more showed the flair and everything. To just come out and totally rubbish everything he's done in a twinkle of an eye, this is just how Osimhen's case went. Hopefully he's been corrected, or he won't leave the club.
In fact, AB, let me now put a finger on it. It's racism. As far as it's racism. What about the other people? Ozzy was just telling me here, the Atlanta captain that collected red card. What did they say about that one?
The red card, yes.
What did they say about that one?
Exactly.
It's racism. Exactly the way they treated Osimhen. We will never allow all of this, never, to happen to our players. We'll speak of Ademola, star boy. Nonsense, it's racism. Why is it Italy? Why always Italian clubs? Thank you so much.